Hello, welcome back. I'm on a CRF 300 Rally today. Been really excited about this. This is the 2025 model. So before I get into the changes, which I'll do on a little walk around, just to let you know a bit of background to this, I once owned the CRF 300L. Absolutely loved it, and I've said publicly on this channel a few times, if there's one bike I regret selling, it is that. But it was a business decision. I sold it for the same amount of money as I bought it for a year beforehand. So my head said, yeah, go for it. Unfortunately, my heart said no. So I've really been tempted to take a look at the 300 Rally like this. Although I have to say straight off, if I was buying another one, which, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, it is on the cards. If I was buying another one, I probably still would go for the 300L rather than the Rally, because I would want it mainly for off-roading, he says, on a road here. After we've done a little walk around here, I will try and take it off-road. I'll try and find somewhere to take it off-road, because it is the suspension that I mainly want to see if there's any difference, because that is the main thing they've changed for this 2025 year. So join me after the sting. We'll have a little walk around, and like I say, we'll try and put this bike through its paces. But I have to say straight off, I'm very, very excited. So welcome back, and you're very welcome aboard. One thing I am noticing straight away with this bike compared to my old CRF 300L is that when I'm riding at speed, touching 100 kilometers an hour, that little screen on the front is doing a great job of keeping the wind off me. So I know a lot of people, and now it's quite confusing. I always thought it was confusing, the fact that they call this bike the Rally when actually it's more geared for doing stuff on the road with its bigger fuel tank. So this bike really is to get you there. What's going on here? Oh, more cows on the road. I've passed this a few times over the last few weeks, and the calves as well, so I'll slow right down. It gives me a chance to talk so you can actually hear me. So yeah, this Rally is more geared for doing stuff on road, and the 300L really is a dual sport, and like I said before the sting, if I was going to get back into one of these, it'll probably be the L that I'll go for again. But nevertheless, it's fundamentally the same bike really, apart from a couple of things I'll get into when I do eventually stop for the walk around. But I have to say, I'm really, really thrilled to be back on one of these. It's such a fun machine. Okay, let's have a little walk around the bike. So just before we do have a little look around this incredible machine, can I say a massive thank you to Terence Healy Motorcycles once again for giving me the loan of this for a few weeks anyway. It looks like it's in the stable. I really do love the look of this 300 Rally. I suspect if I was going to delve deep into the pockets to afford another one of these, I would be going for a grey one. That headlight arrangement's never fully sat okay with my OCD. You can see actually that's one of the upgrades for this year. They've given them LED lights all round, including the indicators as well. Nice little touch. But the big upgrade is the suspension. I'm yet to feel the difference because if I was riding my 300L back to back with this, then I'm sure I'd notice the difference straight away. I do want to put this camera on a tripod though and test just exactly what it's like on the back end when I push down on it, because I'm sure I'll notice there. You can tell straight away the dampening, especially if I take the stand up. Yeah, the dampening, it's the rebound actually. Oh, there's a similar effect to the rebound, which will be great when I am going over any bumps. As you can see, it's a very tall bike. I'm not quite flat-footed. But definitely get the tips of my toes down. That's good enough for me. I feel confident enough on it. I'm 5'8" for reference, 30-inch inseam. So yeah, this is perfect for me. But you can tell straight away actually. They've also placed a bearing in the rear shock instead of a rubber arrangement, which was in the previous model. So altogether, the suspension should feel totally different, especially for anybody who's upgrading from a previous CRF. But let's have a little look around this. It does look absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? It's a great looking machine. I always thought they were. I really did. And that bigger fuel tank on there, I think aesthetically looks great on this bike as well, you know. But I don't know, if I was buying another CRF, it would really be for dirt tracks and to improve my riding. I've always said, again, that my previous CRF brought me on leaps and bounds as a rider. You can see the protection down here as well. So the 300 Rally comes with the bash plates, and I love all of this extra plastic. Although if you were to go over, it's only something else to replace and more cost. I'd be getting better handguards, probably go for the Acerbis handguards with the alloy attachment here, just to be sure, as they say in this country. And we'll have a little look at the tyres. Unfortunately, they're the IRC stock tyres. Never really got on too great with them on my previous CRF, so if I was to own one of these, I keep saying this, don't I? Maybe I'm just planting a seed in my own head. When I buy another one of these, that should be one of the upgrades I'll be looking to do fairly early on, putting a different set of tyres on it. Right, let's see what's at the top of this lane, because it does look promising. Okay, let's power this machine up. We'll switch off the ABS as well. Hold that in for 3 seconds from what I remember. There we go. The ABS is off. Fire up the Osmo 360. I presume you've seen my videos about this camera so far down the road now. I've made a few episodes about this camera. Really getting to like the picture quality anyway. It still has a few problems, but I won't go into that on this video. I don't mind admitting, and I've just realised that's why I'm waffling. I'm a little bit nervous. It's been a while since I've off-roaded, so let's just go for a little jaunt and see what is up here. Gorgeous afternoon. Real autumn feel to it. There's not too many places you can get into around here, which I remember now. That's one of the reasons I convinced myself it was a good idea to sell my 300L. But we'll see where this takes us. It's getting bumpier. It might need a little bit of standing up here. Oh, this feels good. This feels good. I haven't done this in a long time. I'm enjoying this. Really enjoying it. And the ground is nice and hard as well. It's not too slushy. I remember those tyres just could not get through soft mud. Oh, this is great. Oh, yeah. I'll try not to make too many erotic sound effects when I'm doing this, but this is the epitome of feeling alive. It really is. The other thing to mention as well, of course, to myself as well as yourselves, is that this isn't my bike. So I've got to give this back to Terence Healy in a few weeks. So I don't want to give it back with any scrapes on it, in fairness. The suspension really, the dampening, I'm telling you now, and it's not just mind over matter, the dampening has really been sorted out on this. I came into these very fields on my old CRF, which is how I know about it, and it was a very different affair on the old CRF. It's literally just gliding over the ruts and the bumps and the rocks. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I know there's a few people out there who are saying, yeah, they'll do anything just to shift a few more bikes and say that they've tightened things up in the suspension. And I've read those reports, but I'm telling you now, it's really, really been sorted. I'm not saying it's as good as putting a proper rear suspension system on, but if you just want straight off the shop shelf and stock suspension with stock tyres as well. Let's not forget, stock everything. Just look at the ground this is able to cut through straight off, and I'm not claiming I'm any dual sport rider at all. 95%, 98% of my miles have all been on road. Just keep up the momentum here. The ground is very rocky. Wow. I wonder if I can get through there. A better ride I could get through there, no problem. Is there another one there? Like, already my confidence just being on this machine. Well, you just saw that. I'm considering going through those breaks in the hedge there. And like I say, I wouldn't class myself as a dual sport or off-road rider at all. But this is why I'm seriously interested in riding this. I'm really considering getting back into dual sporting. I can't believe how much it brought me on as an all-round rider. My balance being the main thing, and learning what the bike is capable of. I mean, let's face it, when you're going in a straight line on the tarmac, most of your riding miles, it's very easy to be lulled into a false sense of security. Negatively, I mean, in that it's the only thing the bike can do. I mean, I've got a 1300 GSA. Don't know if you saw Adam Riemann recently riding one. He was riding it like it was a BMX. He's an incredible rider, but you're only as good as the machine as well. And to see the two of them, it was like watching French ballet, watching Riemann and the BMW 1300 GSA. So that bike, after watching Adam Riemann on that, I thought, God, that bike is just wasted on me. That's another reason I'm now thinking to myself, I really have to up my game somewhat, become a better rider. I've messed about long enough. I've put a few too many motorway miles on under my belt. I'd love to get into this. This is exhilarating. This is something totally new. Great fun. I'm absolutely loving this. Absolutely loving it. You can probably tell the excitement in my voice. This is very bumpy down here, I remember on the way up. So. Rear brake only, Dave, rear brake only. Wow, it's very bumpy. Right, I don't want to tempt fate. I've just thoroughly enjoyed that little blast around there. It's more green laning than I've done in the last year. So I'm probably going to leave the video here, folks. Whoa. Look at the line the bike is holding. I was keeping the bike upright with my body balance, but the bike followed that line beautifully. Can't believe those tyres. I wonder if they've changed the pattern of the tread. It's just absolutely stunning. Great feedback as well, really great feedback. I'm ploughing through it. It's just holding the line beautifully. And back end sliding out beautifully there as well with the ABS disengaged. Oh, right. I am having a ball here. Don't try and fix a 360 camera, Dave, when you're... So, I am... Oh God, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. Oh my God, I am loving this. Look, everything about me has gone hard apart from my camera, which has gone limp. I think we need to get back onto a road very soon. So, back on the road. I have to say the bike was much happier being off-road there. But nevertheless, it's still very happy to just lean into the corners and the bends, touching 100 kilometers an hour here. What a bike, it really is. I'm gonna have to ring Terence Healy during the week and let's talk business. stay tuned and find out if indeed I buy another CRF 300. Spoiler alert. Okay, thanks a million for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. If it's your first time being here, please like and subscribe. We're nearly close to that big 20k in terms of subscribers on the channel. And of course, for those long-termers, if you want to get even closer to me, you can do now on Patreon, where we're having a lot of good laughs over on that platform. It's really great. The Wheelie Faithful, as we're called. And yeah, it's good fun. Won't be long now before I start doing a few lives on Patreon as well, but it's nice to share all of my stuff behind the scenes with the gang on Patreon. But thanks to you all for supporting the channel. Appreciate it as always. Have a great week, everybody. Ride safe. Dave Perry, Really Good TV. It's a wrap.